just working on Sid. Sid Embraces Anarchism. Got most of it finished now. I'm just making the dog, putting that together. The dog actually is where most of the action is in this one. It's quite a lot of movements. There's the tail has to move. Let's get it right. The leg and the head has to turn. So quite a lot of mechanism actually inside the dog before we even get to quite a crowded mechanism in the frame there. In this video, what I'm going to do is just show you the dog part, how I put the dog together, and then I'll make another one showing you how I get it all wired up and controlled. As you can see, there's tail's fallen out. There's his tail. There's quite a lot of mechanism inside the dog there, so I have to make them in two halves. In the next part of the video, I'll just show you how I get those two halves prepared, how I sand them and glue them together. So we'll just have a look at that now, and then I'll come back to you. Okay. So I've got the body parts here, the leg parts. And first job is to put these together. So these are how they've come off the milling machine, just rough blanks. So of course, when I put these two together, the legs are solid, whereas we want the legs to be like so it can get between them. So first of all, I need to cut those out. It's just simply a matter of deciding where they're going to go. Drawing it in with pencil. There's quite a lot of handwork involved. These are just the rough blanks that come off the milling machine, so we got the dimensions correct and also that the cavities, etc., are in the right place. Quite a lot of burrs, which I get off with a little bit of sandpaper. It's enough. Oops. So, next job is to cut the inside of those legs out. It's fairly soft wood, it's lime wood. So what I'm going to do is do it just with the belt sander to get in there and do that. Smooth those off. So let's go and do that. The legs hollowed out a bit, so now I need to glue it together. Just use some PVA glue. Oops. To shake it down a bit, get it through. It's quite cold in here at the moment, so it's not terribly runny. Double a bit on. Blimey, it's hard. Here it comes. Right then. Just put a few dabs on and then I'll spread it with my fingers, I think. Right. Good. The other side on. Strong glue, this PVA, once it's set. We get it right. Then we got the head. The head, again, is made in two halves, mainly for the ease of machining, really. And the ears need sticking on that. So in this bit, I'll show you the preparation of the head, which is quite similar. It's quite important with the ears, though, to get those glued on properly and strongly, because clearly that's something that can break, particularly in transit if it's not done correctly. So let's just have a look at that bit. Right, I've got a reference head here, just so I can get the ears right. So, first of all, just mark where I'm going to put them, just behind the eyes. It should do. That one just a little bit further back. The second one here. Do the same with that one. Now the important thing is to get these to stay where they go, so what I'm going to do, get this in the picture if I can. Ooh, go that way. There we go. Right. It is very hard wood, actually. That one done. And the other one done there. What I need to do is now drill the holes in those. Forgot to do is I need to curvature as well. Take the head, put in this these wires, you know. See how these fit on. And not too bad. Here it comes. That'll work its way up the wire a little bit each way. We should have a good strong bond. Okay, so now we've got the head all sanded and glued together. The body needs a lot of shaping. It's very rough when it comes off, but there's a blank. So I'll show you the shaping now, and the fitting of the leg and the hinge needs it's quite a small hinge and it's quite strong. I make them out of brass, so I'll just show you those processes now. Bits are all so small. And then I need to drill a hole to make the pin for the hinge. First of all, I need to decide exactly where it's going to go. A little bit. Guide it through by hand. Good, so this little pin is now going to go through and act as the hinge. I had to put it too far over though. Need to find the pliers. Probably my most used tool, these pointy nose pliers. Yeah, basically that's a bit too tight at the moment. Probably got it in the right depth, but what I'm going to do is just file a bit off the end of it. There's room there. Got these little mole wrenches which hold it quite tight. Good, just find the file. Good. So, find the pin. Hinge. Good. Now then the question is, can I get it on the end of the leg? Good, that's actually pretty good. Of course, it's just a little, it's got room to move. It's not going to move for the time being, but need a bit of surgery to get it to go, but it's certainly on the way. So let's just cut this back a bit. Good, it's looking fairly close. Let's tack it with a bit of glue. Put a little spot of super glue in there. I find that breathing on it, just that little bit of moisture,
helps a lot. Good. That's got enough movement now for what we want. Just enough to cock the leg. Excellent.
The tail is another bit, as you can see, it's all made of wood, and it's quite a bend. You can imagine that would be quite easy to break if you didn't make it well. So I'll just show you how I prepare the wood to make sure that this is a good strong tail.
Here I've got 2 pieces of beech glued together to make a sandwich like plywood, and I'm just drawing the dog's tails on them now. What I'm going to do is cut these out now on the fret saw and then shape them on the band sander. So I'll just go and do the fret sawing and get back to you. So now I'm going to drill the holes to put the wire to make the axles for these heads. So they need a starting point, and also for the tails, which is quite tricky because it's quite hard. And I'm going to use 1.3 mil, 1.2 mil, 1.19 actually, millimeter brass wire. So put a 1.2 mil hole in these. This is where it's handy to have the drill sets that go every 0.1 of a mil. A big investment at the time, but paying dividends now. There's one. Try not to go all the way through, otherwise it just makes it a little bit more difficult to finish it. Good. So with the head, try and get it perpendicular to the further in for the head. Don't know why, but it always reminds me of going to the dentist. Right, now I need the holes in the bodies. Again, I spotted them there. This one needs to be completely vertical, so what I'm going to do is not use this drill but use the pillar drill. So, okay, so test the puddings and eating, so let's see how this goes now. So look how that looks. Sit on there. Good. Final coat of paint, but yeah, looking good.
Then when we've got it all fitted together, which I'll show you in the next bit, it then has to be put on a module. So, if I can get this out. Stuck. So I make it in a modular fashion, so this plugs into the base there, and the dog fits onto here. But I'll show you that in the next video, how I put the control wires through and make it in phases, so that otherwise it would actually be quite difficult to wire it all up. Of course, as you can see, it's quite a crowded box there. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, I hope. Bye bye.